Well, hello, it's Adair Palmer here, and I'm live in the on Be Live TV doing Friday Facebook Fix. It's a pleasure to come to you to talk today about what I had some recent success in my looking for some participants for webinars recently, and I thought I would share how I did that with you today. And I'm just having a look here. I've actually got quite a few have already commented on my pre-scheduled post for Be Live TV. So let me just put my my phone on silent, so invariably it will ring when I am in the middle of a sentence. So I've just put that on silent now, and I've got a few comments here from that I'd like to share, because Be Live TV is a pretty amazing platform, and it actually is something that it's in beta testing at the moment, and I really enjoy it because what you can do is you can write on-screen updates. So I can put, let me think, what can I do? So ways to get people, did I put on there your webinar or something like that? Let's do 7. How many have I got? 7 ways. And so that comes up on screen, which is really amazing. I'm really enjoying this platform, and I'm hoping that you can actually hear me okay. So what I was doing before I just popped on here was I'll just shut some of those down. I'm going to go onto my page because I've had some issues before with live and audio. So I've made some tweaks and it has worked. It was working yesterday or Tuesday when I did the interview with Rana from Pakistan. Let me just see. Yeah. Oh, yes, it's live. Beautiful. So you might have heard that in the background. I've got two screens here. So if I'm looking over there, it's back to front. So it is, yeah, it gets a bit confusing. But anyway, I'm here. I'm live and audio is working, and Rebel Web Solutions saying audio good. Awesome. So that's great news. How did I get 75 people register for my webinar? This is a really interesting conversation that I've been having with some people, and also having with myself, because when I was I'll just hide that comment. Okay, so when I started helping people with Facebook for attracting clients and customers, I was a hypnotherapist, and I was doing it successfully myself. But before that, I was actually working in network marketing, and I had a bit of success, but I was actually a really awful Facebook user because I was very much a seagull or spammy. And if you're on my page looking at this now, you can just check in the notes section, and there's a blog there that says, are you a seagull or a dove? Now I'm aiming, my mission is to create a whole Facebook a whole people of a heap of doves on Facebook. So let's just have a look and see if you're a seagull or a dove. But I actually think that most of the people who I connect with now are doves, not seagulls. But I was definitely a bit of a seagull, so I would just be flying in, just putting crap everywhere and leaving. It's not the way to do things on Facebook. So when I did some training in hypnotherapy, and I had a bit of insight into my behaviour in both on Facebook and in other areas of my life, and I decided that I could lift my game and in the interest of continuous improvement, which is exactly what I did. So I started to, by helping myself and helping other people, using hypnotherapy and neuro-linguistic programming, I was actually learning at the same time as to how to really create connections and really hone in on the relationship building, and actually being a more personable, I think, rather than just, sort of just flying in and crapping everywhere, and it was, the relationships have always been important to me, but it was actually in the execution of what I was doing on Facebook that was missing. So when I started to teach other people as well around Facebook and around their small businesses, I didn't have a business page at all. And what's this? Blake Johnson is saying, question, is the date for Friday the 21st? Okay, what date is that, Blake? I'll just pop that up there and you can just let me know in the comments what is the date for. Okay, that would be good. Okay, a little bit confused. So I actually didn't have a business page. I had a group that I would actually pop people into the group, social media, Facebook in brackets for small business owners. I'll pop people into the group that I was working with. So I started on very, very little, like just with 1 or 2 people, and that's how everybody starts anyway. But that was in the end of 2015, and so all of last year I was helping people sitting pretty much around my dining room table doing Facebook workshops on Facebook, and working mainly with practitioners who are hypnotherapists, NLP practitioners. But I also had some wonderful people join me who are carpet cleaners and window washers, and so it's expanded from there. But what I wanted to say was, until April last year, I did not have a business page. So I was probably about 6 months without a business page. And what happened was, I was using my hypnotherapy with a Dare page. When I decided that I was really resistant, and I was going, no, I'm not going to have a business page for social media because I don't need one, because I was having so much success using hypnotherapy with a Dare. I kept doing that. But what's happened in the last 12 months is that the hypnotherapy with Dare, like I still practice hypnotherapy, but the social media side of it and training people to help others has really blown out. It's just come so big, and that's where my energies are at the moment. And in April last year, I caved and I went, all right, I'm setting up a page. So it's still run 2 pages now. I actually run more than that, but for the businesses, I run the hypnotherapy with a Dare, and I also run social media with a Dare, which is also known as social media for small biz owners. Now, when I set up the page, social media for small biz owners, I was able to get 200 likes in 24 hours on the page immediately. Now, this is something that I was, and because I guess it was doing what I was teaching others to do. And so that was one thing that that's one of my mottos, I guess, is that I won't teach other people to do something that I haven't done myself, and that if it's worked for me, then I will show other people. So at the moment, I haven't done Facebook ads, and I'll be working towards that, but I'm working with the lovely Val Cosens and Steph Rigby, and there's also a local guy in Adelaide, Tim Lumsden, who do Facebook ads, but I wouldn't say, for me, it's about knowing where my strengths are. So I'm teaching people what I'm doing that's working. And when I did this, set up this page, and I've got this 200 likes now, I think on the page there's, let me just see, as of today, there is 2,324 likes. Now, folks, I've never paid for any likes. I have not, I've not asked, like I asked my friends to like the page, or the people that I'm connected with to like my page, but I don't pay for likes. I've never done a likes campaign, and I actually think it's a waste of time. I average time and money, actually. I average around between 30 and 80 sort of likes a week. It's depending on how active I am on my page, and and I try and be active. I try and, like I said, do what I teach others to do, and try and get things happening. And I get things happening, and people just come in and they like the content. There's other tricks that I teach people that we can do to get likes on your page for people who are already engaged on your page but haven't liked your page. But that's for another session. So I'm actually teaching that in the 747 creating massive engagement and organic reach on your business page. That's starting Monday. So I'll put a link to where you can actually hook into that. It's US $27, and it's a week intensive where I show people exactly how they can get massive engagement. Massive engagement and organic reach in their business page. So I'll be promoting that as well. What I want to do is just go through a few of the steps, and I've written them up neatly typed up notes. So I'll just stick that on my screen so I can sort of get a bit of a guide of the process. Now, you may or may not be aware, I've written an ebook, and it's called Breaking the Facebook Code, 10 Steps to Getting Customers. I ran a webinar yesterday called exactly that, Breaking the Facebook Code, 10 Steps to Getting Customers. It is, everything I do is designed around that. It's an ebook that I wrote. There's a long version coming out. The long version's called Unlocking the Facebook Code, 10 Steps to Attracting Clients. There's been some tweaks since I've written the ebook, and the ebook's not even been properly launched yet. It's been launched to my email list, but it hasn't actually been launched into the wider environment. So there's things that have changed since then. So it's really an interesting journey. But what I wanted to point out was the things that I'm going to share with you today are a very, very abridged version. I've got less than 15 or like 20 minutes left to share with you how I managed to firstly get these 200 likes onto my business page when I first set it up in April last year, and also how I managed to go from 6 registrations at lunchtime on Wednesday. It was about 1 o'clock Wednesday, and I looked at the registrations for a webinar that I ran yesterday morning, and I hadn't done any marketing for it. I've just put up an Eventbrite, and I'd actually posted a couple of things on my page, and I think maybe in a couple of groups. So I had 6 people. That was very, very passive, and that was without doing anything really. And so what I did was I went, well, I actually would like, 150 people registered. It's my own fault. I'll take full responsibility for that, because normally when I do these things, I have a program where it's planned out, and I do marketing activities. And as Nat Denman and Francesca Moy will tell you, and I've looked into their wonderful training called Bums on Seats, and in fact went over to Melbourne in October last year to attend their 2-day masterclass, which was awesome. But they will tell you it's 80% promotion, 80% promotion, and 20% actually doing the content and delivering the workshop. And so for you who are in the business of education, and I think we all are in some way, shape or form, you would want to be promoting what you do 80% of the time. And that's where I fell down, because I reckon it was probably about the other way around. So I did because I've got the content already. I don't have to spend huge amounts of time on the content right now. I did in the beginning. But what I'm suggesting is that I actually let myself down because I didn't follow my marketing plan. So that's in the interest of being authentic and just saying it up front, that, sometimes we take our foot off the gas. But it depends on how far we take the foot off the gas too, because I think actually that if you get your, and I use this analogy when I did the webinar, it's when imagine you're in an aeroplane and you're starting from the beginning of the runway, and then you're taking off down the runway, and you get halfway down the runway, and this is consistency. This is what you're doing to create a presence on Facebook. Get out of the airplane, you go, well, I'm going to have a cup of tea. So you get out of the airplane, you toddle off to the hangar, you have your cup of tea, you come back, you hop in the airplane, you go, right, now we're going to take off. So if you take off from halfway down the runway, then you decide that you're going to get up into the air. What's going to happen? You're actually not going to get up into the air if you start halfway down the runway. So one of the things that I think has happened is because I started at the beginning of the runway, a couple of years ago, and I've been consistent ever since. So there might have been a couple of times where I've taken the foot off the gas a little bit, but really it's been consistent, and it's been that just sheer determination of being consistent, which has actually helped me. If I've taken my foot off the gas a little bit in the last couple of weeks and didn't promote properly for the webinar, I think because I've got the aeroplane in the air, and that's where it gets a little bit easier when you are doing this 80% promotion. So all of this I've done without a marketing budget as well. So without any paid advertising, it's all been organic. It's all been through authentic connections. And now I'm going to share with you exactly how I did it. So if you want to make any comments, please do so. We've got Cherie Pearl is trying to, I think she's being a bit of a seagull, Cherie. Can I just refer you to the, I won't even show that one, but she's trying to sell me something without connecting, without even knowing me. So here, Cherie, is a real live, I'm naming and shaming, I know, but I just get annoyed because I used to do this stuff too. But just learn from this, because it's actually not in your interest to sell me something before, like that came on before I even went live. Yeah, it's pretty tacky, really. Okay, so Savitri is saying, hi, my internet is doing a lot of buffering. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You need more, better internet. I know that you're still on ADSL, but it'd be good. We're getting broadband or NBN connected in the next couple of weeks, so that's going to be good, because then I'll be hopefully be able to live stream, and it will be like watching TV, because that's the next plan on the thing is Facebook TV for our code breakers. Exciting stuff happening, people. Very, very exciting stuff happening. Let me get on with this. The first thing you need to understand, now this is in black and white because and where we go. I'm a bit scammy like that, and I just printed them out because I want you to understand. it's all, hey Shirley, how you doing? Thanks for coming, and thank you for hooking in. It's all in black and white, but it's all back to front. So if I look a bit confused, it's because I'm moving it this way and it's going that way on the screen. Hang on, there we go. The House of Facebook. This is my signature concept. Now you'll see here that there is a hallway. The personal profile is your hallway. This is an absolute foundation concept that you must understand if you're wanting to look at getting the results that I've been getting. It's all based on one of these. Our House of Facebook is an absolute signature concept. So the only way in and out of it is through your, there we go, personal profile, which is the hallway. You've got various rooms on around it, and you've got 5,000 people on the back veranda of your House of Facebook. Now, this is really, really the whole thing I want to make the whole thing that I want you to really, really understand about this concept is that I teach people how to use it in its entirety as a powerful business tool. So some people say, well, my business on Facebook, my personal profile is separate, my business presence is separate. I say to that, everywhere you go, there you are. So it's really critical to understand. If you don't like that concept, if you find that you really have to have your personal profile locked down and your business presence a completely separate entity, then I'm not the one to be working with you. Okay, so if you are willing to be open and transparent and authentically yourself as you as a person, and also as you as a business owner, and you're willing to explore all the nooks and crannies that Facebook actually offers you as a business person on Facebook, then, and seeing the House of Facebook as a absolutely powerful, powerful, powerful business tool, there we go, in its entirety, then I think we would be perfectly matched to work together. So there you go. That's the first thing, understanding that. Now, where's my notes? The second thing that is really, really critical, and you absolutely must do this. Less than 1% of entrepreneurs actually stop and take the time to figure out who it is they're serving. So you could say, like, my service, my product, what is for everybody, and it might well be. But the whole key to this is working out who you want to serve, who you want to work with. It's not about everybody will benefit. Of course, it will in the end, but everyone will benefit from my service or product. But if you can work out who you want to work with, that's the most critical thing. And then work out what sort of what sort of language they use, what sort of what's their pain points. Like, I've got a process that I take the Facebook code breakers through, where we have a amazing amount of time. We spend a whole week looking at your avatar. I call it the alter ego, because mine is a 45-year-old woman called Brenda, and she's a previous version of myself. I do have a slightly different avatar for my hypnotherapy as that I do for my oh, Shelley's saying I can't get on. So Shelley, I can see you here, so I'm not quite sure. I'm just going to have to keep rolling on, and you catch up on the recording afterwards. But thank you for trying. Appreciate that very much. Back to your avatar. I call it my alter ego. She's 45. Her name's Brenda. I don't know where that name came from. In fact, I wouldn't have named her that, because I'm not even sure I like the name Brenda, but that's who she is. So, and I know her intimately. And what I do when I start doing new, if I want to launch a new service or a new product, or if I have a thought, so I always run it past Brenda, and I go, hey, what do you think of this? And if Brenda goes, well, that's sucky, like she's just sitting here, she goes, that's sucky. I go, well, it's probably not going to float. So if you can do the work, get your avatar really, really solid, that is the second critical component. I cannot stress that enough. The third one is, once you know who you are looking for, who your avatar is, you're going to know where to find them. Now, this is really interesting, because when you are on Facebook, the nooks and crannies are where you can find people, and even off of Facebook in blog posts and other platforms, you can actually, it's pretty amazing that how you can get people, meet up even, but then you can get people from there across to connecting with them on Facebook. And then which is lovely, because that leads into the next step, which is step 4. You can connect with them, you can friend them on Facebook. Just a little hint here, they all have to line up, but when you friend someone, do a little stalk of their profile. When you friend someone, look at, who they are, just go, they fit the avatar. Look at what the sorts of things are that they're saying in their posts. It might be in a group, or it might be in a page, it might be on their personal profile. Look at what their interests are, who they follow, that type of thing. And then you can, when you friend them, send them a message and tell them well, don't say, I want you as a customer or a client, or I need you to have, I want you on my back veranda, because that just sounds a little bit seagully too. But be genuine, be authentic, and say, I'd really like to connect with you. You know that you've got something to offer that they most likely are going to want to access at some point in time. So if you've done your avatar properly, you know where to find them, and then you connect with them. What you will find after a while is, if you do this consistently and regularly, people will start adding you as a friend. Now, I've got nearly 1,000 friend requests that I haven't responded to, mainly because they don't fit my avatar. But what that means is I don't delete them. I just let them sit there, because I don't want those people to get into trouble for sending friend requests that people delete. So a lot of people do that. They just delete if they don't know them. So if you send a message first, and the other thing you can do is ask people to friend you if they're interested, which is a really nice way of doing it. It is labor intensive and it does take work. And if you're doing this, don't do it heaps at a time, because you will get a Facebook slap or get put in jail, and you won't be able to friend request people for a long time. So I teach, there's an art to it, and I teach this. I can't go into it here, but it is, I teach it in the boot camp, Facebook Codebreakers boot camp, but there is definitely an art form to it. Wow, down to the wire. Okay, so then what you do is you have if you've got your business page, you're posting content that you know is going to connect with the pain points of the people that you are looking at, you've connected. So you connect with them, you get them onto your back veranda, they're in your tribe, they're in your house of Facebook. Then you can invite them to like your business page, you can put out your specials, you can find I'm saying posting content, give them value, give them lots of value, free value on your business page and on your personal profile, stuff that you know is going to interest them and entertain them and get them engaged. Step 6 is finding creative ways of keeping in touch with them. Now, again, that is things like putting little posts on your personal profile. That I did one the other day. I want to see an emoji to see exactly what it is that you are feeling right now. I haven't looked, but I reckon last time I did look, there was over 100 comments to that, and it was just something really simple, and then people just responded. So it's going too slow, but anyway, I won't worry about that. So people do that, ask questions, there's a whole heap of different things that you can do. One of the things that I did at Christmas time, at New Year, and at Easter just gone, I sent messages to as many people as Facebook would let me. I did get a Facebook slap for that, so be careful how you send messages. And again, if you are sending messages, this is not salesy, by the way. It's just connecting. It's pure connection, building relationships, showing you care about people. So I sent, people, Christmas time I sent probably too many to people that I hadn't really been connected to in a fair while, and Facebook said, well, you're not sending any more messages now, so I've got a slap for that as well. Always pushing the envelope. So I'm hoping that you can learn from my mistakes and just take it a little bit easier. But keeping in touch, finding creative ways to keep in touch is really critical, and you can do that en masse through your business page or through your personal profile. Personal profile is always good. When you put posts on your business page, share them back to your personal profile. If you're wondering about creating content, I do have a blog which I'm populating at the moment, but there is a series of my blog is Social Media with Adair. Let me see if I can just pop it here. So it's www.socialmediawithadair.com, and I've got a few things up there, but there's some really valuable stuff there that every time I do a Friday Facebook fix, I write it up and turn it into a blog. So you get the video and you also get the blog. Before I had the website, which was only released only launched a couple of months ago, I was putting it in the notes section on Facebook. So if you go into my page and you have a look in the notes section, there's a heap of resources and information there that you'll find useful. So once I've done all of this stuff, and this is a very, very, very abridged version, but when I've done all this stuff and I'm being consistent about it, then I can go, wow, I want to have, 50 people on my webinar tomorrow. What the hell am I going to do about it? So I sat down, and it took me probably about 3 hours solid work, but I spread it over a period of time, and I sent people a message. I first went through my friends list, and I handpicked people that I really knew would really enjoy having this information, would benefit from it, because I'd gotten to know them and I knew who they were and I had some sort of connection. And I said to them, hey, I'm running this webinar. It's free. If you're interested in coming along, just sign up here. If you can't make it, register, and I'll send you the email with the recording. So overnight, between 1 o'clock Wednesday and I ran it at 10 a.m. yesterday morning. It went from 6 registrations up to 75. So it might not sound like much, but if you think about it, it's actually quite a significant amount when you do things like, and I know some people, friends of mine, have done some paid advertising to get people to workshops, and I'm not sure that their results have actually been as they might have been as good, but it'd be interesting I must have a chat with this person and just see, because it'd be interesting to see if the results actually have been similar or not. But I will be looking at paid advertising down the track, and I would actually advise you to do that as well, because what you can do then, when you've got people that you resonate with, that you connect with, that you've built the relationship with, what you want to do is when you can scale it up purely by using paid advertising. But I think putting in the groundwork really pays off, absolutely pays off. So there's a whole heap of stuff that you can do, but putting in the groundwork and just being consistent really pays off. So just for the record, I had over 30 actually hook into the webinar yesterday. So usually when you have something free like that, I think the return rate is around about 12 or 13% from memory. This is not 50% or around about 50%, just under 50% people actually hooked into the webinar from the ones who signed up. And the ones who registered, oh, hello, Shirley. I have to show you this. This is awesome. So the ones who registered are the ones who also got back to me and said, look, I'm not able to come along, but I will register, and can you send me the recording? And of course I've done that because they've registered, and I've now popped them into that list and send them a recording with a heap of other resources. So if you, it's just amazing what you can do, and that's why I thought I would really love to share this with you. So this is my Friday Facebook Fix. It's been half an hour. I like to keep it to half an hour so you know it's short and sweet. If you want some more information, if you want to learn how to do what I'm doing, I've got the 747. It's called, I'll just put that here, 747 Creating Massive Engagement and organic reach on your face. It's such a long title. I've got to cut it back. This page. Now this is actually starting. Thank you, Shirley. I appreciate that. This is actually starting. Can you see that? I'll just hide that, and then that's weird. Oh, that's supposed to come up onto, I'm not quite sure what's happening here. I think, can anyone see that? Can you see that what I've written there? Because it's saying that it's showing, but I can't see it. Okay, no, I'm not quite sure what I've done there. It's seized up. But anyway, it's called 747. Thanks, Shirley. No, you can't see it. Okay. It's called 747 Creating Massive Engagement and Organic Reach on Your Facebook Business Page. That's starting on Monday, the 24th of April, which is this Monday coming. It is $27 to participate. It's a really intense week where I give one video every morning, and it's like I send it out to you by email. You get a video that's between 7 and 10 minutes long with some action steps that you can take that day. So it's from the 24th to the 30th. Very, very brief, very intense, but what it does, it shows I want to pick the eyes out of the 10 steps to attracting clients, and I've just laser focused in on getting your business page up and running. And we've had some massive successes with the people who are implementing the stuff that I'm teaching. So it's a 1 week commitment. It's really intense. I'm in the group most every day, and I do lives in the group as well to interact and for Q&A. So just, it's really cheap price point and very economical for, there we go, for 27 US dollars, which I think is around about $34, $35 for the whole week. You will come away with amazing information about building your engagement and your reach on Facebook using your business page. It's only one tiny bit of the whole story, but it's so powerful. I look forward to Shirley's in. Woo! I look forward to seeing you there, Shirley. I will put a link in here, but I'll also put it into my blog post so people will be able to join up, because we've only got a couple of days left for people to join. I'll make it easy. I'll put the PayPal link down here so you can jump on and pay. And so once you've paid, then I send you an email saying, hey, this is how you get on board. On that note, I've gone 6 minutes over. I do apologize for that. Thank you for bearing with me and staying with me for the whole Friday Facebook fix. This will become a blog post in the very short, over the weekend it will, and you will also get information. I'll post it back here into my page, and I think it's also streaming live to my group and to my personal profile at the moment. On that note, I'm out of here. Have a wonderful weekend, people, and I will see you in the 747 if you choose to come along. Bye for now.